When winning is the only option, the sharpest bettors in the world call me. Not because of what I know, but who I know. And the results, well, they speak for themselves. But talk is cheap, so let me show you. The Syndicate Insider Show starts now.
This is our Friday report. We got a little Father John Misty here in the background. Now listen, I want to talk about yesterday. 5-1 home teams cover in the NFL, but you hear this music? Stop. You hear no music. Could you imagine watching an NFL game in the regular season and in the middle of this game they just stop and they turn on the TV?
Do it for our boy in Baltimore.
They do it for our boy in Baltimore. But what it illustrated, if you watch me on Snapchat this morning, was the insanity of playing an NFL preseason game. Now, guys, I'm not here to do anything other than give you the reality of professional sports trading. Now, if you go online and you Google the word entity trading, entity betting, entity betting, I'm going to do it right now. Entity betting, entity wagering. The newly passed bill, Senate 443, was formed in the state of Nevada last year. And with that bill, you have the ability to now to accept wagers from clients across the country for the purposes of forming a hedge fund, a mutual fund, for the purpose of wagering on sports. You may not tout those selections. You may not sell those selections. But as opposed to sending the money offshore, what you may do is you may play. So the client may actually send money to the fund and then have his money wagered. The problem with the limitations of this fund, it's all done by GC Books at the Venetian, and you're going to be limited right now till all the books come in line. You're going to have one book manipulating all the money. You can't possibly have all this money coming into one book. And if you go online and Google entity wagering, you'll see all these sports betting funds, and they're only going to allow you to play 500, invest 500 up to $1,500 to $2,500 to get access to their plays. And here's the bottom line. The bottom line is the big syndicates aren't involved yet because not till every book is online is it going to be a true value proposition. What you have to understand is this. Professional syndicates, Senate Bill 443 funds, guys are watching this video, never even heard about it. What you have to understand is the real guys that are in the know, they don't bet preseason. But I am not in the business to diminish how people make a living. If you got to sell a daily pick, you sell a daily pick. Do I sell daily picks?
You still do not.
I still do not. Do I sell weekly picks?
You still do not sell weekly picks.
You just got a text. You're gonna put your little code in. Whoop, put your little code in. Put your little fingerprint in. All right. So can I try $250 a week? I got Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night to make some pocket change. I can't even finish the rest of the text. It's too embarrassing to the client. Here's the bottom line. This guy that's texting Mike over here, he's interested in trying to make some pocket change Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. What he's not interested in is making actual money like he would in a hedge fund or a mutual fund. Now, I own Apple stock, admittedly. I bought some at 111. I watched it all the way go down to 92. I'm not in the financial trading business. I didn't panic. I bought more. It's back to 108. Here's the bottom line, guys. I'm a long-term investor. I'm a swing trader. I'm not a day trader. The only thing I day trade are short-term investments. Options, futures, things that have time decay. 4-hour, 5-hour sporting events. 10-hour beach volleyball matches in the Olympics that go on and on and on and on and on, where the USA blasts Italia. The bottom line is you have to have an absence of emotion and define your time frame. If you watched my webinar the other night, understand the value proposition of treating your betting as a business, the business of entity wagering, the business of the state of Nevada taking a bite out of the offshore sports betting industry is going to be so big in the next couple of years, where people are going to basically send millions of dollars over to Las Vegas, and they're going to be having their money bet, but they're not going to be able to get the selections daily. They're not going to be able to cash out daily. They're not going to be able to ride the backs of these bets. What they're going to do is they're going to get into the mutual fund betting game and finally do what I've been preaching for 30 years, 3 decades, treating their betting as a business. Now, the question is, are you going to be a guy texting Mike, worrying about making some pocket change for the weekend, obsessing about garbage games? Now, I got a guy, Cherry Twister. He was texting me on Snap. He said he really liked that I didn't use profanity on my videos. I slip, I'm human, with the best of it. I appreciate that, Cherry Twister, and here's the reason why. If you're watching these videos, it's not that I'm higher than thou. We know in the office I can have a sailor's mouth. I want to provide you, the player, the investor, with information. I want to take a losing player and turn him into a winning trader. That's what I've been doing for decades. Every day when somebody calls here, they're calling about a specific game like it's talk show radio, as opposed to worrying about the key object, which is running the marathon. Running to February 5th, 2017, not because they're a football player. It is amazing how many calls we got in the last 48 hours. After being here for 3 decades, and every year it's the same thing, you get a downdraft of interested clients as I do videos all summer, and you get, all of a sudden, the phones, we don't do anything different, the phones just explode. Why? I'm calling back because it's the beginning and the resumption of fake football. Fake football. Literally fake football.
Pretty much fantasy ball.
Do you realize they
fantasy.
stopped the matchup to watch Michael Phelps swim? They stopped you would put your money on a game that both teams sat there where the game could have been decided in 22 seconds left in the game or whatever it was in the 4th quarter, and they just hang out like it's like just hanging out watching them. And your money's on this? How Vegas can even put up the number on the line is insulting. And what Vegas is basically telling you, if you're watching this video, is you are a degenerate. You don't care. You're going to put your money on a cockroach race because you just want to bet football for the sake of betting it. It doesn't matter. Or you can't grasp these simple concepts. And if you can't grasp these simple concepts, then you got problems. If you don't understand the concept of arbitrage and betting as a business, check out the scores in Olympic basketball today. Australia push, USA push, Germany in soccer push. They're making tight lines even on the Olympic sports as a whole because they have so much money flowing to these international events. When does somebody come in from the outside, come into the inside, and actually decide that this is just wagering on numbers? And the fact that the Senate Bill 443 was passed illustrates the value. You could read the article that was in Sports Illustrated in April after Cleveland won the championship. This is nothing more than the financial betting business. This is not handicapping specific games. People call me all the time and they ask you, what sport is easier? What sport is hard? How many times have we got to ask the question? Where everybody knows the easiest sport to wager on and make money without information is baseball.
Of course.
Bingo. Baseball is the easiest. Everybody knows the sport everybody wants to wager on the least is baseball. So you take a guy and you tell him the easiest sport to make money on is baseball, and he doesn't bet it. What's the hardest sport to make money on? Well, football. And you all want to bet it with no information. Show me a fool and his money, and they'll soon be party. bookmakers love you guys. So, if you'd like to purchase tonight's information on these 5 NFL preseason games, Miami, the Giants, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Green Bay, Oakland, and Arizona, and then you want to call tomorrow, and you want to get Seattle, Kansas City, the Colts, Buffalo, Dallas, and the new on ESPN, Los Angeles Rams. And then you want to get the San Diego Titans game, and then you want to have the big Sunday night game at 7 o'clock at night. The Houston Texans at San Francisco 49ers. I'll tell you a funny story about that in a second. You can't get anything here. Don't bother even picking up the phone and making the call. But tomorrow starts Premier League soccer. Real football that matters. Tonight my sources are on Mexican Primera Uno. Football that matters. My guys are on Canadian football. That matters. My guys are on MLB. That matters. But we're not going to put our money on investments that don't matter. Now, let's talk about soccer. You got a big book, not sports book, a big clientele. You're from the Ukraine. You came here when you were 8 years old. You grew up with that soccer ball, that football. So it's ingrained in your blood. So you get it, man. You get it.
And it's year round. Doesn't end.
It's year round and it doesn't end. It goes from the East Coast. It goes from the South to the North to everywhere.
Everywhere.
So, but you really understand that these clients don't get excited. They don't understand it, and there's nothing really you can do. But it's amazing to me is that when you go to the books now in Vegas, they all have lines on them, and people run there in the morning to wager on them and don't realize the games have already started. So if you're in Nevada, because we're in Baltimore right now, and you want to wager on Premier League soccer, you have to have a telephone account if you want late information, or you have to make your wagers the night before for the early games. Because the sports books don't open, my friends, till 8:30 in the morning in most books, Pacific Standard Time. And by then, most of the games have already started, and the action is off the board. How do I know that? Because it doesn't matter that I'm in Baltimore. I'm there every 3 weeks for a week. Now, how hard is it for you to get your international clients interested in U.S. sports?
They're already accustomed to U.S. sports.
Because of what? The marketing madness?
They're used to the marketing madness with football, obviously, and the major sports, but they love it even more because to them, they wager in their sleep for American sports because they're usually asleep because of the time difference.
So it's a true betting business. They're not watching the games.
They can't. They put them on delay. They record them.
If they want to, right.
For entertainment purposes later on, but the money is made by the time they start.
So you have to understand, the marketing machine is such where if you're international, you're already into the U.S. sports. But you guys, I fight with guys all the time that just don't care. They will put all their money on a Ravens game where everybody stops to watch Pelps. And you might, and it's just insanity. And I'm listening to guys, I'm getting emails from people, and this is not to bash anybody, it's just to make you, the player, aware of true reality. You want syndicate information? Ask yourself this. If somebody needs to sell you a hot pick just because a game is being played on a Monday or Sunday night, you want entertainment? I'm going to say it again. Where should we go?
Go to the movies.
Go to the movies. Go to the movies. Go to the movies. Go to the movies. We saw Jason Bourne. It was all right.
Fair.
I mean, we can start doing movie reviews.
Saw Suicide Squad. Fair.
It was all right?
No, the soundtrack was better.
The soundtrack was better? So we can give you movie reviews too, because when there's no games worth playing, maybe we'll start doing movie reviews on the side. We'll be the new Cisco and Ebert. That is your Friday night report. Follow us on Snapchat. Follow the real exploits and lives of real syndicate players that play to win, not play to play, and certainly don't play for entertainment. We will be in Las Vegas August 30th to September 6th for our Vegas Roundtable. As always, live every Tuesday on 1400 AM, in studio on the 30th, live next week via phone. And as always, you can deal with us directly here live via mic. And then he'll let you know if he can work with you directly one-on-one. Again, you can't call here and buy a hot pick on the computer.
Please don't call and try to get daily picks. Treat your betting as a business.
Right.
We are going into football season.
And another thing, guys, is I say this at the beginning of the season, and then I'll end this 15-minute and 4-second video. If you need a therapist, by all means. We've all had the ups and downs in life at this stage in the game. I'm 43 years old. I've been at the low, I've been at the high. Trust me, nobody's been lower than the guy you're looking at right now. But nobody's also higher than the guy you're looking at right now. The overriding thread every year in the beginning of the season is the war story scenario. Calling here to tell us about the services that you paid in the past that lost you money. Not interested in your forum war stories. Not interested in your... There's no empathy for the weak. Any service that you paid and you lost, you deserve to lose. That's from your unrealistic expectations, expecting unrealistic results. If you listen to a fairy tale, you deserve what you get. If you want proper money management and sound advice, pick up the phone and call. I will read a fairy tale to my little girl, and if you choose to be an adult and have somebody tell you a fairy tale over the phone, as they always say, that is on you. This is your Friday report. We got a big card tonight, and there is not one NFL preseason game on the board in our card. Good day and good luck.